Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana and Kaily, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is April 24th, and this is Adriana with Negotiating Happiness. And I have here Kaily Desrochers, which is my guest today. I just wanted to do a quick intro. So we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And like I said, we've got a guest today. So everybody grab your coffee, grab your lunch. I'm just about to introduce our lovely guest today. How's it going, Kaily? You're just standing, waiting for me.
That's okay.
I know. It's kind of a Monday. We're all over the place, but that's okay. So I promised everybody that we would sit down today with you. You are the owner and operator of Ivory Ever After Boutique and Fabrics Distributor. And throughout the episode, we will delve into the topic of slow fashion and explore how you navigate being a young mom while pursuing your passion in the sewing industry. And I also mentioned that we'll discuss the challenges and obstacles you face as a new entrepreneur, and as well as the day-to-day balancing act that you engage in. You're also a mom, and you have a family, and you're setting up your new business from scratch. So we also want to know how you find your happy. It's the whole idea of the show. Right. What is your happy? That's what we want to know.
Well, besides family, of course, everyone's happiness. Right. Sewing really was my go-to when I was needing some me time or just time away. Sewing was definitely a place where I just found my zen. I could get my pattern going and just sit at my sewing machine, and it's so therapeutic. I just loved it. So that's really one of my happy places, is in my sewing room, where I can create and just make beautiful things that people like to wear. So
yeah, okay. And I think I'm having some technical difficulties right now, but we will fix in a minute. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you've reconnected with sewing and how you decided that you wanted to start a full-time business?
Absolutely. So I started sewing back in junior high school. It was actually a credit that I could get, and I thought, that's going to be easy. I'll go do that. And it actually wasn't that easy. I did learn a lot, and I at first wasn't sure that I really liked it, because I thought this was just going to be something that was going to be able to, come really easy and naturally to me. But quite the opposite. It actually took me 2 years of the program to really start enjoying sewing. I remember my first year, I made some letter pillows, and I brought them home to my siblings, and I was the oldest of all the siblings. And I remember them looking and being like, cool, the letters were a little off, and they might not have looked the greatest, but that was my first real sewing project. The next year I got to make my mom a dress, and that's when I started getting into really enjoying the fashion aspect of sewing. And I realized, it's not just quilts and letter pillows. So in high school, I again took sewing, and I started making clothes for myself. But after high school, I found that I really veered away from it. I was working, and, I ended up meeting my spouse, and we ended up starting a family, and sewing wasn't something that I was doing on the regular anymore. And it didn't really start to pick up again until 2020, after I had my daughter. I have two sons who are older, but my daughter, she was brand new, 10 years younger than the other ones. And we found, like everybody else, we were home a lot with a lot of extra time. And, babies are great, but they're also, I'm not going to say easy, but it was easy to have her sit beside me and just watch me as I got back into sewing, which was something that was, something that I enjoyed when I was younger. And I found, wow, I've got all this extra time. I may as well start doing it again. But this time it wasn't sewing for me. It was sewing for my kids. I thought, I'm going to delve into something new. So I went and I got some patterns and, I started making for my little girl. And oh my goodness, once I posted the outfits online, everybody was like, oh my gosh, can you make me one? Can you do this? It's like when you have a friend that sews, everybody's got something they need hemmed or fixed, or everybody's got an idea of something that they want. So,
they're the cutest though. I included them with our promo when we first put it on there because they're just the cutest little outfits.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really great to see that you can just pick up where you left off and you can create these beautiful things. But from my talks with you, you're actually looking at creating other lines for adults as well, not just for children.
I am. Yes. I've been doing the children now for a couple years, and I really, at first it was just sewing for the kids, but then with, everybody asking, I thought I had thoughts of having a small business before of some sort. I always wanted to work for myself. It was a dream. I just didn't know what the dream
was. We've all
been
there.
Exactly.
We've all been there where we know what we want, but we can't quite put our finger on it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking like, oh, if I could have a little boutique and I could get clothes, from other places and sell it in my boutique. And then I thought, wait a second, I can make this. I can do this myself, So
Yeah.
like I said, I started doing it and just really with so many people asking me all the time, I thought might as well just start up just a small little business where I'm friends and family. I'm sewing for them. And one thing just led to another. And, my hubby said, why are you just, why are you just sitting at home sewing for them? We can't be out working right now. Why don't you just start up a little business, give yourself something, something to aspire to, and so.
Of course.
Right. So that's where it all started. And, it's a lot different, I will say, than it was back when I was in high school. I mean, there's all the fashion trends, everything has changed. So I did actually turn to videos a lot. Thank God there's YouTube, new techniques, everything I was looking up. And luckily there's so many videos out there for other people that we could talk about that later, but other people that, be interested in getting into that. So,
yeah, no, it's really great if you know where to look. There's just so much good information out there for sure.
Absolutely.
Obviously your company name Ivory Ever After was inspired then by little Ivory, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Okay.
I was trying to do something where I could fit all my children's names in there, but with the boys, it just didn't go. So Ivory, I thought she is my inspiration. Like the little outfits, the little boutique outfits that I was making was what inspired me to do the store. So I had to, I had to put her in there.
But a little birdie told me that your little boys are quite involved in doing reels for you. Is that right?
Oh, yes, because mommy is a little technologically challenged, should I say. They definitely help me with all the videos and the inspiration behind the reels. Tell me, oh, this would be a good one to do, mom, or this one's really busy. This is a trending sound. You need to do this one. So they've definitely been helpful in shooting the little videos as well. I know my youngest son, he loves to be involved. And
they're really good though. They're really good.
I couldn't believe he's better than me at some of these, He was making the little bunny romper hop and it looked really cute. And I thought, wow, this kid's, he's going somewhere. Maybe one day we'll all work together. They could be my video and sound and, who knows?
Your marketing team. They're your marketing team for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to see the little bunny romper hop along, Kayly's Instagram is at Ivory _ever_after_ boutique. So check her out and follow her. You'll see all the cute little things that that she makes. I just wanted to delve a little bit into the topic of slow fashion. I have a couple of facts that I wanted to learn a little bit about it myself, because I feel like I knew a bit about it since my mom is a tailor, but I didn't really know how much it impacts our planet, our lives, our economies, and all of that. Yeah, so I've got here, according to the Council for Textile Recycling, in the US, the average person throws away 70 pounds of clothing and textiles each year, and only 15% of that waste is recycled or donated.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. There's a huge number.
That.
In Canada,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No,
yeah,
I was
in
just
Canada, 80. Yeah, 1 second. So in Canada, 85% of discarded textiles end up in landfills, with a total of 12 million tons of textile waste generated each year. And that's according to the Waste Free Ontario Act, which is specific to the province that I'm in. But I wanted to see kind of what the difference is, and it's just the same.
It's
just
unbelievable.
The
numbers are shocking. They're shocking.
It is. For sure. And fast fashion is responsible for about 10% of global carbon emissions, more than international flights and maritime shipping combined.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is something that really shocked me, because I knew that flying wasn't the best, or even, I know there's this whole debate about private jets, but this is very shocking. And this is from the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And I've got another tidbit here is the fashion industry is the second largest polluter of water globally, with 20% of global wastewater coming from textile processing. And that's from the World Wildlife Fund. That's crazy.
It really is. I encourage everybody to do their research and look up the numbers as well, because there's so much more that people don't even realize. You think, even when you're, I'm going to be good and I'm going to send to thrift stores, which is great. And I do encourage people to shop secondhand. However, the majority of the donations that go to secondhand places end up in the landfills. So it's a huge deal for our planet right now. It's making a huge impact, and the numbers are scary, and they're just getting worse. Some of the fast fashion industry, some of these brands are reporting record high profits, and
sales.
Still, when people know this, they're aware. Maybe they don't, know so much about it, but I feel like so many people know, but because things are cheap and easily accessible, that's what people are turning to, because, it is tough out there.
We talk a lot about the effects of the pandemic, and it's funny because a lot of the people that I speak to in the entrepreneur kind of umbrella, a lot of these businesses either started because of the pandemic or started before the pandemic, and they have been affected in very unique ways. And this is just another example of the pandemic is the effects of the pandemic are still going to be felt throughout continuously past the 2 years. And this is obviously in the inflation and the rising cost of living, and that includes clothes, right? And especially for people that have, one children, or maybe I say children in particular because obviously everybody needs clothes, but I mentioned children in particular because they just grow out of them so fast. Exactly. And I remember with my son, he's going to be 3, but we're now in 5T clothes. Right, so we've just gone through them so fast. I've started cutting his long pants that are now too short and making them into shorts in hopes to kind of prolong the lifespan. And it's not that. Well, it's not that
I do love that, but if you can get as much wear out of those clothes, do it. But I understand what you're
right.
so quickly.
Yeah, but this is why I can see why people are looking at brands like yours, especially because you've got a specific line that
Yes.
addresses this. So how about you tell us a little bit about that?
All right. So I do have a line, our Grow With Me line. And so this line is really for people looking to get the most wear out of the clothes that they can. So they range in sizes from newborn all the way up until 12, 13 children, youth. And they last for around 3 sizes. So the sizes range 3, or I say 0, 3 months, the way children are being born these days, they can fit into these at birth. So 0 to
Yeah.
12 months. So that's the first one. Then there's 12 months to 3 years, which is a big one for us. I do a lot of 12 to 3. Then there's 3T to 6 youth, which is also a big one. 6 to 9, and then 9 to 12, 13. So we've got, I have lines for summer and winter. We've got dresses, we've got pants, we've got everything you can imagine. So a lot of parents like to take advantage of that just because you are going to get the extra wear out of that. And they're made quality. So, they are going to last through those.
Of course. And these are such crucial stages. The moment you said 12 to 3, I was going to say, I bet that's really popular. And then you took the words out of my mouth, because that's when they start getting mobile, right? And that's when they start getting into everything. And that's when I saw the biggest difference too, where I had to, one day you wake up and it's like, wow, these pants are now above your ankle. I don't know how that happened, right?
Right?
So
it's like overnight.
Yes, for sure. For sure. So I have a few more tidbits here for us to kind of digest and then delve more into how your business helps offset this. It is reported, according to Vogue Business, that consumers in the US and Canada are becoming more aware of the impact of fast fashion on the environment and are increasingly interested in buying sustainable and ethical fashion. And Right. And slow fashion is gaining traction among younger consumers in particular, with 75% of millennials saying that they would pay more for sustainable products. And that's from Nielsen.
That's so lovely. I love
and that's amazing, because we are that generation, right? And we are those that are pushing this forward. And I'm super happy to hear, that as a generation, we're trying to be a little bit more aware and take accountability for some of this. And don't get me wrong, I love cheap clothes. I also love really good quality clothes. Again, because my mom's a tailor, I've been in the same kind of, mindset. People, yeah, and I know that you can tell a difference, right? The most obvious of it. Hold on. We've got a comment here from Bianca. Hi, Bianca. It says, just started following Kayly's Instagram. The clothes are so cute. Can't wait for my son to be born and just to spoil him with sustainable and local clothing brands.
Oh, thank you, Bianca. Oh, I can't wait to make you some beautiful things.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Bianca. She's almost due, so we're waiting on good news. Yeah, we're waiting on good news any day now. Yeah, so I can definitely tell a difference with these clothes when I put them through the wash. That is a huge difference, right? After 3 washes, you're like, what is this?
What did I buy again? Yes.
Like, what happened?
Exactly.
Yeah. So according to Business Wire, by 2030, the global sustainable fashion market is expected to grow by 9.81 billion, with the USA and Canada being key players in the market. That's what they're predicting, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, for sure. That's like, you just, that's good news.
Yeah. Yes. And it's not just about, slowing down on our consumption. It's also about having natural and organic fabrics as well. I was doing this a little bit of research lately. thinking about what some of the hormone disruptors might be, just for various health reasons. And I've learned that wearing synthetic fabrics can actually cause some of our hormones to be disrupted from their natural cycle.
Right.
And I never even thought of this stuff before,
Mhm. You
never
don't.
even,
Why
no,
would you? Why would you? You wouldn't think that, and you shouldn't have to think that. It's really sad that, that's become
right.
so accessible that it's, these things that are so
Yeah.
bad for our health, and
Mhm.
it's yeah, it's sad. So it is a big deal. You want to buy organic, you
It
want to buy
is.
natural, you want to be protecting yourself. And another thing with the fast fashion, a lot of the materials they use is recycled, chemical filled. I say garbage. I mean, technically it is almost toxic waste. These things have warnings on them. They have warnings on their sites about things that their clothes cause, and they're not good. So
Yes.
I said, make
Yes.
sure you're reading.
Yes.
It's great to have something
I know
cheap, but
exactly which brands you're talking about, and we're not
mhm.
going to name them on here,
No, of
but
course, of
I
course.
know exactly the kinds of warnings that you're talking about, and let's just
Mhm.
say they're not great
No, that's right.
for
Always do your
anybody.
research. Even just read just that page that you're buying from. They
Yeah.
usually have
Yeah.
the warnings right at the bottom, and we don't
Yeah.
even notice them because we're,
Yeah.
$5. It's great,
I know.
so.
I want to be very clear that I am 100% guilty of this. Like I am one
And
of those people.
I have been too. I absolutely have been too in the past. I'm really trying not to
Yeah.
be, and it's
Yeah.
hard. It's so hard for people because, I don't have it. Luckily, I can sew for my children, but I know a lot of people out there can't, and they have to turn to something like that.
Mhm.
So I always say though, if you can, shop secondhand, because that is
Yeah.
definitely, you get quality stuff, great fabrics, and great designs too at the same or lower prices than the fast fashion
Yeah.
pieces that you're buying.
I have to say that I've seen a lot of like younger than us, right? Like the next
Mhm, yes,
generation,
the
they're
next,
really
yes.
big into the thrift shop shopping.
And
And
I
I just
love their
I
videos.
know, and
I
I
love
love
seeing that.
it. I
It's
love
so
seeing them,
cool.
and I love what they create with them, and I love
Yes.
they're so creative, and it's just it makes my heart kind of, flutter when I
I
look
know,
and
it's
say
great.
these are good kids, these are
Yes,
good kids.
they sure are. And actually, I'm taking a page out of their book because I'm in the process of starting a secondhand upcycled line as well. So that's
That's
something that people have
amazing.
to look forward to. Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
will be geared toward the kids for now, but definitely we're always looking for different ways that we can help with this, the slow fashion movement. So.
Mhm. Mhm. So take us through kind of um we've talked about there's a kids line, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Of Grow With Me. And then
Yes.
there's also I've seen you have seasonal products as well, right?
Yes, yes, I do have seasonal products. I try to do a special, especially this year. Last year I did, but it wasn't as marketed as I had liked. But this year I will be really pushing for spring. We already did the bunny rompers and the bunny gear for Easter. That's a huge, huge season for me. It's always very, very, very busy. So I'm just getting orders right up until the day of Easter. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was great. But now for the summer season, we're looking at capsules. So I'll be doing this is really great. They're, anywhere from 8 to 10 all the way up to 20 pieces for a wardrobe for one or for siblings.
So is that
You
what a capsule means? Is it a wardrobe, like a whole
Right.
wardrobe?
It's a wardrobe I create with all matching pieces, all pieces you can mix and match to go together. So, there'll be a dress in a certain pattern, maybe a pair of tights that could go with that would also match a shirt. And, there would be coordinating patterns that go in together. And these are great I had a lady that had two girls, twins. So she's ordering a bigger one, but it's perfect for them because they can mix and match and have, 6 or 7 different outfits, as well as different pieces they could wear with other things. So they're really great because you're not shopping at all different places and having to spend a ton of money. I do try to put them in a nice, bundle for people, nice deal,
For sure.
just to help with all that helping with the not outspending,
Yeah. Yeah.
with the fast fashion and whatnot. So they've
And
been very, very popular so far. So last year it
yeah.
was just not so much, but this year it's going to be a lot bigger. So I'd say watch out for that. I'll be posting a lot
Yes.
about it.
Yes. So what are some of your favorite fabrics that you use for these capsules? So what can people expect from them?
Well, before I was doing a lot more of the just French terries and the cotton lycras. This year, I'm
Mhm.
getting more into the bamboo lycras and more of the organic fabrics. I'm looking into linens and just a few other
Cotton. Yeah.
cotton lycras and cotton jerseys. But yes, definitely cotton linens and
Yeah.
just a lot less of the polyester, because I did have some polyester before I was more aware and into what I'm into now. So
Yeah.
definitely gearing more towards the more natural and organic fibers for these lines. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. And honestly, I remember when I was younger, there's a point that you hit, depending on the age, and everybody's different, where
mhm,
choosing clothes to wear every day is very overwhelming. So the fact that you can just kind of bundle them up, these
mhm.
are what your options are, and you can mix and match. I I feel like this would definitely help kids make these kinds of decisions a lot easier, right? It's not as
Oh,
overwhelming.
for sure.
You're not chasing brands. I remember this specifically when I came to Canada. I was about 12 years old, and
Mhm.
everybody was into the whole, Quicksilver and Billabong and
Oh my gosh,
Roxy
I
and
remember
like
that.
all of those. And they're cool, right? They're
Guilty,
cool. This
guilty.
is like
Yep. Mhm.
you think about it, you have fond memories,
Oh yeah,
you get
skater
nostalgic.
time.
But I
Right,
didn't
right.
exactly, but I didn't have that, right, as a kid, and it was always such a, I would tell my mom, I would tell my dad, it was a money issue, right? So
Absolutely.
we just couldn't have that. And I
Mhm.
remember as a kid, like I still now, I'm in my 30s remembering that. I wish that I didn't have that pressure, right?
Oh, I
I
feel
wish that
that.
I didn't have that pressure.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes, yes,
and
definitely.
and I feel with the things like capsules, having just kind of clothes that you're comfortable in, that you love, that you
Then they
can
all
mix
match.
and match.
Yes,
Right. When
exactly.
you mix and match, I feel like that could take some of those, that same pressure that I can relate to.
Absolutely. And not just that, but when you go to reach for a piece from my capsule, you feel it, you feel the quality. This is a nice piece. It's not like, oh, did it make it through the wash? Let's see if we can do. You know that you're going to get something good and it's going to be cute and easy. And
Yes.
a lot of I'm focusing a lot on the gender neutral as well with the capsules, if I have the option. But there'll be a couple different options of color palettes people can choose from, but I'm definitely getting a lot of the gender neutral for people. They do like that, and the comfy, easy to play in,
Yeah.
boho people ask for
Yeah.
a lot. It's very
Yeah.
popular, those kinds of easy and a nice print. So,
Yeah,
definitely.
and I wanted to mention that the reason why Kaily has so many options available is because she's also a fabrics distributor. So picture, print on demand, but for fabrics. So if anybody listening and they have this special kind of design in mind, odds are Kaily could probably do it for you. So
Absolutely, I can.
yes, she would be able to order it for you and transform it into the wardrobe of your dreams. So don't
Thank you.
hesitate. Yeah.
Or just give you the fabric if you want to do it, right? So,
Yes, yes. We'll
the
get
nice.
into that in a little bit. If
Okay,
you
okay.
are
Well,
somebody who wants to do the things that Kaily does, um, Kaily is a perfect resource to start getting your own fabrics, or if you want to plan your own collections with, custom designs,
yeah.
you're in the right place.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So right now you're at the stage where you're just starting your business, it's relatively, yes, you've been doing it for a little while, but now you're you're trying to do it full time and
Right.
you're starting it from scratch. You're getting a website built, you're on Instagram, you're very much customer facing. So you have direct contact with your customers and you're hands on. What are some of the challenges that you've faced in setting up your business from scratch?
Well, there were a few, quite a few.
I hear you. We've all
Yeah,
been there,
right?
right?
So, well, that I'm not the greatest yet, with all the new technology and everything that's forever and constantly changing with that. That was really tough. I didn't have such an online presence. I mean, I did as far as, posts about my day and things like that, but really transferring it over to where now I'm having to do reels and, really put my face out there for people that I don't know already, or it was difficult. Sorry, I thought I heard little feet back there.
Very appropriate.
Yes, yes.
For this conversation. No, I
Yeah,
hear you.
correct.
Mine's upstairs, so don't worry.
Okay. Another thing was having my kids home all the time. I mean, they're great help. And great, they want to help all the time, but sometimes it is really overwhelming trying to take care of the kids, even when their dads went back to work and he was doing that. I was still at home with them. So trying to do my business as well as, meet all their demands, it was challenging at times. Then, everything from sourcing my fabric, a good company that, has fair pay and good work conditions. That was a big deal for me. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just, finding the cheapest person and going with them. I wanted to make sure that they had good
ethical
company
standards.
policies
Yeah.
there. Ethical, yes. And that took, quite a while to find a good company that I wanted to stick with. Everything else, down to the website. I couldn't do the website. Luckily, I had an amazing creator that's helping me with that. But, I found everything was challenging except for doing the actual sewing. I always loved that part. And it's just such a nice release. So I could be really overwhelmed with everything. But then once I get in and, I cut that pattern and I start sewing, it all works for me. So
that's your Zen time, right?
it really
that's
is.
what you're good at. I say this all the time talking to business owners. It's great to see that I'm still not wrong about the idea of, here, let me help you with the other stuff so you can do the stuff that you're good at, right?
Right.
So it's great to hear that it's working.
Oh, it really is. It really is. You've been so helpful. So
thank you. I just wanted to do a quick station ID. So for those just tuning in, you are listening to Negotiating Happiness, and I am your host, Adriana. And we are live on the United Public Radio Network and UFO Paranormal Radio Network at 105.3 and 107.7 FM. in New Orleans. And we're saying hello to everybody. It's around lunchtime. So grab your coffee, grab your lunch, and join us. I'm here with Kaily Desrochers from Ivory Ever After Boutique and Fabrics Distributor. And we are talking from anything from, momming, parenting, to running a business, building a business, scaling a business, to day-to-day balance and the slow fashion movement, because I really believe that this is the way to advance forward with a conscious mind, is to get into your favorite, local brands and supporting them.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So, let's see what else. How do you balance being a young mom with running your own business? So, like, what strategies do you use to manage your time effectively? So, what have you implemented in your life for that?
So coffee definitely is number one, of course. Right?
You're funny.
That
does
key.
not even need a mention.
No, I guess not. So really, I've had to learn how to let, like, my 2 boys are in school daily. I have that time during the day, but I do have Ivory, sweet Ivory, at home with me, and she always wants to be hands-on doing what I'm doing. So I've really had to come up with different things that she can help me with that are kid friendly for a 3-year-old to help with, which is actually surprisingly a lot more than I originally had thought. I also try to do coloring pages for each of the designs that I'm sewing. She can do her own little coloring on the side of that design. So she feels like she's really part of that. And then, of course, with the family, they all want to help. So the kids do, like I mentioned before, help with the reels and the social media part of that, and maybe what I should say or what type of thing I should do that day that might be, trending. But, just really trying to make sure I have that time for my family and I cut out that time. Usually on the weekends, we do like a nice family night, or we'll cook a dinner together. We'll all sit down and play games. I like to make sure that I'm always connecting with them. So even though I'm in the other room sewing, they don't feel like I'm, somewhere else. They can't, reach me, or it's one of the reasons I wanted to do at home, like a business myself. So I didn't have to be out of the house or far from them working all crazy hours that I used to. So it's really just finding the balance and making that extra special time for your kids and your spouse, and making sure that they know that they're important to you, because I know they're always helping me so much. And
so you involve them. Clearly you
I
involve them
try
in
to
this,
as much as possible.
Yeah.
If I don't involve Ivory, chaos. It would. It's better to involve.
Yeah. So
And hopefully,
so just to sum it up, you go from design to sewing to managing all of the orders that are coming in, all the payments, the billing, and
yes,
then also the shipping of it, right? You also
yes,
ship things?
yes, I do. Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
do shipping, and that also in itself can take a long time. Just taking my orders to the post office, it can take half an hour or longer at some point, making sure they're all scanned in, and, making sure everything's getting to the proper place, because, that's important. And I want to make sure that I am doing my part to make sure my hard work is getting to where it needs to go. So, everything. It's very demanding, but it's so worth it in the end when I see people posting about my handmade goods for them, that they love them, or they're recommending my shop. It all just makes everything so worth it,
Of course. Yeah. Of course. It's because your stuff is so cute, obviously.
No, you're so
So you also have a Facebook page, and you also have a VIP page, I think.
Yes, I have the fabric VIP page. I just started back in November. So that's where you can get the first look while my website is being developed. You can take a look and see most of the choices that I have there. So that's Ivory Ever After Fabrics on Facebook, and that's a group. It is a private group. So I like to keep everything, in between us. So you don't have to worry about showing people have their own things. I just like to offer that private and inclusive and safe space for everybody. So
it's also a smart way to do a pre-launch, right? Before your website goes live. So very, very smart marketing, Kaily.
Thank you. I'm trying.
For sure. It's working, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it seems to be.
So tell us a little bit about the fabric side of it. So we've heard all about, you've got other clothing lines coming in. You're thinking of adding other sizes, and you're even making changes to some of the most used fabrics that you use in your business. But on the other side, what do you offer people that want to purchase these print-on-demand fabrics?
So at the moment, you would have to join the group, but once the website does launch, you will be able to choose your own fabric and choose how many yards you'd like. My turnaround time is quite short in comparison to some others. So you're able to pick what you want, is the yards that you want, and I'm not ordering all these extra yards and having waste or having this extra fabric sitting around forever. That's a big deal for me too, because when I started the business, I was thinking about, sustainability and, being eco-friendly as much as possible and doing all the right things in that way, doing what I can. So, others had suggested maybe, you get a bunch of yards and you sell it off. But I think that this way it is going to help, just save a lot of waste in the end, I'm hoping. And then people know they can get exactly what they need. I'm able to help with anything, color matching, all that stuff. A lot of people come to me and ask if I have coordinates or if I can do, color matching for patterns they already have. I do custom orders that way, or I have tons you can choose from as well. And you can have them printed that way. So
what are some of the categories that are most popular for your print on demand fabrics?
Oh my goodness. So florals are a huge one for a lot of people making dresses for the spring and things like that right now. Around Christmas time or the holidays, it's always the holiday prints, but florals is one that I find, even with the other business, people are always wanting. And then I do have some inspired prints as well, which
tell us a little bit about what inspired means.
So inspired is more the character files of your favorite characters that you might see on your favorite shows. And those are very, very popular. They're very, you have to take a look and check them out, but there's a lot, you can imagine the Magic Kingdom and all those prints. So.
I've seen some really good characters that clearly graphic design artists have put their own spin to it, and those are really popular. And it's really cool to kind of go through them. So
I know you like the superhero.
I'm a boy mom, so I have no choice. Right. I have to like the superheroes. Right?
I understand. I was there for 10 years myself, just boys, so I get
it. So no, I definitely like those. And I think some of my favorites that I've seen in your files have been like, oh my gosh, I love the witchy stuff. And
yes,
they're just so cute. Like,
I think it's like the woman type. I get a lot of women, men too, but I find a lot of my women customers for themselves, they want the witchy kind of like women empowerment, like cool.
Yeah. Or like, I just love the the symbolism and the, I don't know, some of the artwork is really nice, especially like the one with the moons and like, I don't know. They're just so
favorite.
They're just so cute. Yeah.
Yes.
And it also like, it kind of borders on like the whole boho style that's super popular right now, that I'm also a big fan of. So definitely to check her out. So I believe you've started some of your social media already for your fabrics. So if anybody is interested, on Facebook, you could search Ivory Ever After Fabrics, and on Instagram, it's ivory.ever.after.fabrics if you wanted to order any fabrics from Kaily. And she's got a wide range of fabrics, right?
I do. I don't have a wide variety posted on Instagram right now, but you can find it all on Facebook. But I'm working on the Instagram as well, so it will be there soon, as well as you'll be able to find it on the website once that's up as well. So
and in the meantime, if you wanted to be added maybe to the VIP group, is it open still for members?
It is. You have to be invite, like you can
request it.
You can request, and I will accept it when I have the time to do that. Yes.
Yeah, or I guess they could send you a quick email, right? If they wanted to get in touch with you.
Absolutely, they can. Yes, at ivoryeverafterboutique@gmail or ivoryeverafterboutique@outlook. Either one. For now, you can reach me at. So we're sticking with the Gmail for sure, but just for the people who already follow me or message me on the Outlook, that one as well. So
on the operational side, though, just to make mention these are kind of the funny little things that people don't think about when you're first starting out your business. It's like, what do I use in the meantime? Like, how do I make it so that people know that I'm serious about my business? And, and like you've got so much success that you're still able to put in orders through and work with people while your business is being built. So it can be done. You just
Yes.
have to take a very like structured approach to it,
And
where
you have to want it really bad and, believe in
yes,
yourself too. That's a big one. There's a lot of times you think, am I good enough? You have that imposter syndrome, but
yes.
just know that you can do it. That was a huge thing for me. Like, can I do this? Can I do this? And, my customers were really the ones, and my family, but you can do it. So just push that imposter syndrome aside.
Was there any, this is kind of a sad question, but we talk about everything here. We're truthful.
Of course. Yes.
Was there any moment where that could have broken you into this journey and it didn't, but you were so close where you were like, I'm not doing this?
Absolutely. There was
Yeah.
one at the start of my fabric business. I mean, the boutique, I've been really accepted and everybody's really loved me and I've had great feedback. But when I switched over to the fabrics, it was a little bit of a different story. Not with my customers that I already had, my customer base, but more with other fabric companies. Canadian fabric company, whatever they may have been, competitors, I guess, if you will. I never thought that it could get ugly, so to speak.
Right,
But it
right.
does, it really can. And, I could have really let some people from other shops bring me down when they really tried to.
Which is
But I
crazy
didn't,
because there's enough that could go around.
Right?
If
That's what I feel like. And there's so
I
many people screaming, help women, and, let's get, women empowerment and women together. But there's a lot of people that are still really close-minded and they don't practice
they
that.
don't
And
share, they don't play
no,
nicely in the sandbox, for sure.
right. And it was
For
weird
sure.
to see. You think like, oh, sweet little, people who just want to sew, like so nice. But no, it can be really different. It can be really different and scary. But I was
Wow.
like, no, I'm gonna do it and just
It
block
doesn't matter.
and
Yeah,
move
it doesn't
forward.
matter.
That's it. Yes, exactly.
That's
My
something that a lot
customers
of
will
people
speak
don't
for
always
me.
talk about. Yeah, yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't always talk about, which is the competitor side of
Mhm.
things, right? And
Mhm.
I'm always of the opinion that if you know what you're doing and you're good at what you do, you don't really need to worry about your competitors, right?
Exactly. Yep,
So
you're right. Yes.
and I'm sorry, but there's enough customers to go around and you can't
100%.
please everybody. So the customers that
Right.
you can't please, other people can have. I don't believe in this whole no, I have to have everybody, because then you become a fast fashion business at that point, right?
That's
Fine,
right.
then
Right.
go be Forever 21 or H&M, or, and don't get
Yeah,
me wrong,
yeah,
I love these stores and I shop there too, or that's I'm
right.
trying to, and a lot of them have made some changes in their massive businesses that are impacting the environment in a positive way as well. But
Mhm,
unfortunately, a lot of the loved brands that I
mhm.
love included are still part of the problem. So if you are a small business trying to become that big of a business, then you are no longer on the same wavelength,
You're not
right?
that authentic small business either anymore. You're just
Right.
trying to do
Right.
what you can to get out
Yeah.
everything you can. Money over morals, a lot of people will say
Right.
sometimes
Right.
once that comes, so.
Yeah. So again, just to clarify, we're not talking about any like
Anybody
H&M, Forever
specific.
21, or
No, no,
anybody
no,
specific. We're
no, no.
just talking about the people that you've
Exactly.
encountered in
That's
your
right.
sewing community. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. And I guess the main piece of advice out of here is ignore the haters and,
Yes.
keep going forward, right?
That's
Beyonce
what my
said one
children
time,
tell me too. Yeah.
yeah, Beyonce said one time, don't talk about it, be about it, right? So just
Like that.
continue moving forward and ignore the haters.
Darn right.
Um,
That's what we do.
right. That's a really good topic, right? Like that's something that a lot of people struggle with. And it's okay to talk. I'm not saying give away your business secrets, but
Right.
it's okay
Help other
to
people, maybe give a
help,
hand up,
or just be
People help me.
courteous, right? Or
Right.
just be
Encouraging
courteous.
or courteous.
Yes, yes. I do get a lot of DMs sometimes of people from all around the world that ask about, I want to become a VA and what do I do and whatnot. And I used to take every single one of those calls, and I have taken a couple. So people reach out to me on LinkedIn, which was super professional. And I was like, okay, no problem. So we've gotten a call and we've talked about it. I've given them some advice that worked for me and make it clear
Right.
that it doesn't work for everybody. But, and you get to a point where I don't have time to take every single call now. So
Unfortunately, yes.
yeah, but you got to do some work yourself. So you can't expect, so while saying all of this, you can't expect somebody to hand you their business model on a silver platter
That's
and,
true. Yeah.
their suppliers and everything else. You have to do some
Right.
of the work yourself. But,
Mm-hmm.
but if you coincidentally find yourself, oh, Michelle here from the Outer Realm Radio. So proud of
Oh,
Kaily. We're all
no,
proud of
thank
Kaily.
you.
She's doing
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you. Proud of
um,
you.
yeah, so Michelle has her radio show on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the Outer Realm Radio. It's on the same network as us. So check her out. Her and Amelia do a really great job, and they talk about all kinds of amazing things outer worldly. So if you're into that stuff, make sure
Very
you
cool.
go on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. So sorry. So to go back to what I was saying is you can't expect somebody to give you that. But if you happen to be in a space, in a common space where other people from your industry are there, what does it cost you to just be courteous?
Exactly. And it's funny you say that. Like, I'm Canadian based. Most of my customers are in Canada, but I am expanding to the US. However, in the beginning, I'd say if people were looking on Facebook for a great supplier or a great other shop, I would always recommend this other shop that I loved, that I used to shop from. If you're in the US, check her out. I would always say that. There's room for everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
know her fabrics are great because we have the same suppliers. So, I don't, if I can help somebody else out or give, credit where credit's due, I'm going to do so. Like you've said, there is room for everybody. And,
Yeah.
let's just all get along and be happy and do it together. It's great. Like,
Right. Right. So we're almost at the end here, but we have a couple of minutes left, and I want to dive into what makes Kaily happy. I'm not talking about what makes mom Kaily happy or
Okay.
wife Kaily happy or business
Mm.
owner Kaily. I want to know what makes Kaily happy.
Wow. People don't usually ask that,
I know.
Oh my goodness. It's hard to say. I love, traveling. I mean, not traveling crazy places, but even just going camping or traveling Canada. I went to Newfoundland last summer, and it was so fun. And it was a place that I didn't expect to ever go, but I went and I had such a great time. And I really want to do more of that, driving and just having the music playing. Like, music's my favorite. It just makes my heart and my soul so happy. So listening to music anywhere I am, I'll be happy with that. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was getting ready for this, I was listening to music and I was just like, yeah, all my nerves, everything was gone. It's just, music is a wonderful thing. So music definitely makes me happy, but doing little traveling around my area is great as well. So
Yeah.
I was going to say anything with the family, but
What like is there anything
know.
specific like camping
Oh yeah,
or
camping. So we actually we bought a pop-up trailer 2 years ago, and we've been doing some camping in that. And my grandfather and I actually my dad bought the trailer for us. It was kind of not a beat up one, but it was an old one. And
Mhm.
it was fine for what it was. I could have used it that way, but I thought, no, I'd like to add a little glam. And since I can sew, I did the cushions, and my kids helped me pick out the curtains and all that. And then my grandfather and I, 82-year-old man, he's amazing. He helped me restore it. We did the floors, we did painting, we did everything. So it was like a brand new, cute little boho style camper. It was just it is so cute. So we
Yeah.
do plan to do some more camping this summer. But I'm hoping to head out west, maybe because it's so light and we can take it behind. We can just pop up shop in one of the provinces and then move up onto
That's
the next,
amazing.
So that's
Yeah,
something that
that's
I like.
amazing. That's great. So is there something that you used to do when you were younger that you wish you could do now, but you just can't anymore?
Oh man, that's a tough one. You know, it's kind of two-sided because when I was younger, I had so many friends and I used to go out all the time for dinners and drinks and things like that. And that was important to me. That was something that I always saw myself doing. And, you know,
Socializing, yeah, yeah,
right, socializing and being a social butterfly. But since I've had kids and a family, it's not something that I'd like to do, of course, sometimes, but it's not something that I do often at all. And
right.
I almost get a little, I don't know if you can say, anxious now. It's so funny. I could go into a crowd of people I didn't know before and, you know, make 20 friends. And now it's like, oh, if people come talk to me, I'll talk to them, not so much, you know, I mean, unless it's about my business or my kids, you know. So,
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
definitely, yeah, it's different. I'd like to go out and do that sometimes, but you know, it's just something
Yeah.
that I don't do like I used to.
I
So,
hear that. I hear that all the time, right? And this is what
mhm,
I say. I was like, yeah, that's why mom friends are really good because they understand you. They understand why you're like,
that's true.
sorry guys, I can't make it, or
They
say
get it.
something like that. Yeah.
Or while you're
Oh,
on the phone, getting interrupted 37 times,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
that's a good one.
They get it,
That's a
they
good
get
one.
it.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
Bianca here left a comment. It says, love that question. More women need to ask another what makes them happy.
That's so true.
Yes.
Thank you for asking me that because it took me a minute to really think about that, so thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean, we don't get asked very much what we need because we're always the ones that provide what other people
We're
need,
the
right?
provider.
So, yes, which is it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have the opportunity to be a mom. It's just sometimes it's nice to be like, I'm gonna get in the car, put on my tunes, and
Go
go
for a
wherever I
drive.
want to. Yeah,
That's
with that,
right.
with no, with no limit, like time limits or schedules or
That's right.
errands. A lot of people say, "Well, you're getting out of the house." Like, yeah, I'm running errands. It's not the same thing.
I'm doing groceries. How exciting is that? I mean, it can be at times when I don't have the kids, but maybe I should have added that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's been it's been quite the journey, I'm sure. And you have 3 little ones, so good for
Yes.
you.
Yes. Well,
Good for
my
you.
actually my oldest is about to turn 13 next week. Oh my goodness, it's so wild
Wow.
to me. Yes, and then I have Jonathan who's going to be 12 and then Ivory who just turned 3. So, yes, very
So
busy,
cute.
but
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
You're
So,
in like every single stage of like kid problems. You know what I mean?
brilliant.
Different problems, different stage.
The issues, different attitudes, okay, from different different age attitudes.
Yep. Yep.
Oh dear.
So I just wanted to do a quick summary here. Thanks to everybody that tuned in, and thank you, Kaily, for joining us. It's been really
Thank you so
great.
much
I would
for
love to
having me.
have you on again once we have your website up, and then you can tell us what other exciting collections you might have.
Absolutely.
Maybe in the summer, we'll hit you up for some summer inspo and for some summer outfits.
I would love that.
I'm glad we touched on the issue of, slow fashion
Me
and
too. Thank you.
the
Thank
effects
you
of
for
fast fashion. And
absolutely.
I'm so glad to hear that people are slowly starting to understand a little bit more about what's going on and how we can help the planet a little bit. And yay to the younger generations for
I
thrifting.
know. Props to them.
Right?
Seriously,
Props to
they're
them.
yes,
Yes,
seriously, they're doing
exactly.
something right. So, yes,
Yeah.
I'm proud of
So
them, you know.
yeah. And for everybody that hasn't had a chance to listen, or if you have friends, we stream on all uh, platforms. I don't even think there's one. This show is not on Roku yet, but the network is on Roku as well. You'll be able to find the replay at this exact same link on YouTube. And I'll be posting the SoundCloud link, but realistically, it'll be everywhere. I'm slowly trying to also copy them over on my own channels, but it's just been a slow process. But
Oh, excellent.
yeah, a little tidbit of news for me as well. I'm trying to finish my website, so there will be a new website up soon,
That's
where
exciting.
I want to
Congratulations.
feature you guys that come on the show, and
Well,
kind of do a little bit more with the show, the involvement, because I'm really enjoying having these conversations. And I'm
mhm.
really glad to see everybody that's chiming in, with all of their questions or comments. So feel free, if you just log into some of the the links like the YouTube or Facebook. If you see it on the UFO Paranormal Radio or United Public Radio Network or any of those channels, you can go on their accounts and this will be either streaming live there or you will be able to see the replay. But I welcome any other questions that people might have. And if you want to get in touch with Kaily, she is taking emails at ivoryverafterboutique@gmail.com. And if you want to start following her, she is on Facebook at Ivory Ever After Boutique and Ivory Ever After Fabrics as well. And thank you. Our producer here posted it on the screen for everybody to see if you're watching. And Ivory_Ever_After_Boutique on Instagram as well.
Yes.
Put your orders in because Kaily has an order every month, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right now, every month. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we are at the end of our show here. We will get kicked off any minute with the outro. Thank you again, Kaily.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Have a really good one, guys, and we will see you next Monday.